Deep Work by Cal Newport, the game changer you need to hear. What if I told you the secret to achieving your goals isn't about grinding harder or working longer hours? It's about working smarter by mastering the art of focus. Imagine being so locked in on your most important tasks that you produce the kind of work others can't compete with. That's the magic of Deep Work by Cal Newport. And trust me, once you hear this, you'll never look at work the same way again. Sounds intriguing, right? Let's be real. Most of us spend our days jumping from emails to meetings to social media and back to our to-do lists that never seem to end. We're always busy, but somehow the most important things still don't get done. That's where Deep Work comes in. Cal Newport gives us the playbook for cutting out the noise, diving into deep focus, and finally creating work that matters. Whether you're a student, a creative, or an entrepreneur, the principles in this book will help you achieve more and stress less by turning focus into your ultimate superpower. What is deep work, and why does it matter so much? Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's set the stage. Cal Newport breaks work into two categories: deep work and shallow work. Deep work is the gold standard. It's when you sit down, focus completely, and do meaningful, mentally demanding tasks like writing, coding, solving problems, or strategizing big projects. This is the kind of work that moves the needle. Shallow work, on the other hand, is all the busy work we drown in. Emails, meetings that could have been emails, Slack pings, and mindless scrolling. The problem is that most of us spend our days in shallow work without even realizing it. Sure, it feels productive because we're constantly doing something, but in reality, we're spinning our wheels. Deep work, Newport argues, is the antidote. It's rare because distractions are everywhere, but that rarity is precisely what makes it valuable. Let's put it this way: if you can focus deeply in a world full of distractions, you instantly set yourself apart. Newport calls deep work a superpower, and he's not exaggerating. Think about authors who disappear into solitude to write a book that changes lives, or programmers who lock in for hours to write elegant, game-changing code. That level of focus doesn't just lead to better work, it leads to exceptional work. Distractions are killing your potential. Here's how to fight back. It's no secret that we're living in a distracted world. The constant buzz of notifications, the allure of TikTok, and the habit of checking emails every 10 minutes have rewired our brains to crave stimulation. Newport explains that this is a problem because every time we interrupt our focus to check a text or skim through Instagram, our brains lose momentum. And getting back into that deep, focused state, it takes time, more time than we realize. Here's a relatable example. Picture yourself working on a big project. You're locked in, ideas are flowing, and suddenly, ping, a Slack message pops up. You glance at it, reply, and then the flow state is gone. Suddenly, you're scrolling through your email inbox just to check, and before you know it, an hour has passed, and you've lost your groove. Newport calls these interruptions attention residue. Even small distractions leave a residue that prevents you from diving back into deep focus. So what's the solution? According to Newport, the first step is to design your day around deep work. That means blocking off dedicated chunks of time to focus intensely on one important task. For instance, you might decide that every morning from 8 to 11, you'll work on your most challenging project without distractions. No phone, no notifications, just you and the work. Treat this time like an unmissable meeting with yourself. And remember, it's not about willpower, it's about creating systems that protect your focus. Deep work requires discipline, not just willpower. Speaking of systems, one of Newport's key insights is that deep work doesn't happen by accident. You need structure. This might sound intense, but think about it. Elite athletes don't rely on motivation to train. They have routines, rituals, and plans. The same is true for deep work. Newport suggests creating a deep work ritual, a repeatable process that signals to your brain, it's time to focus. For example, you might start your deep work session with a hot cup of coffee, a clean desk, and a pair of noise-canceling headphones. You could also use a specific playlist that helps you lock into a state of flow. The key is consistency. The more you practice this ritual, the faster you'll slip into deep focus. And let's be real, at first this might feel hard. We're so used to multitasking and switching between apps that sitting down for 90 uninterrupted minutes can feel impossible. But Newport reassures us that focus is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Boredom is your friend, seriously. Now here's a counterintuitive idea. Newport argues that we need to embrace boredom to build focus. Sounds strange? Let me explain. In today's world, we fill every spare moment with distractions. Waiting in line, scroll Instagram, sitting on the couch, grab your phone. The problem is that this constant stimulation trains our brains to crave instant entertainment, which makes it harder to sit still and focus when we need to. Newport's advice is simple. Get comfortable being bored. The next time you're waiting for a coffee or sitting quietly, resist the urge to grab your phone. Let your mind wander instead. This might sound small, but it's powerful. By training yourself to tolerate boredom, you're rewiring your brain to focus more easily when it matters. Think of it as mental fasting, a way to reset your attention span. Social media, friend or foe? Here's where Newport really challenges us. He argues that social media is one of the biggest culprits stealing our focus. Now, he's not saying social media is evil, but he wants us to use it intentionally. Ask yourself this. Is this platform helping me achieve my goals? If the answer is no, it might be time to quit or limit it. Think about how many hours we lose scrolling mindlessly. Newport encourages us to replace that time with something more meaningful, like reading, hobbies, or connecting with people face to face. For those who aren't ready to quit cold turkey, Newport suggests setting boundaries. Instead of checking social media throughout the day, schedule one block of time, say 30 minutes in the evening, and stick to it. The rest of the day, keep it off limits. Protect your time like it's your most valuable asset. One of Newport's final lessons is about guarding your time. In a world where everyone expects instant replies, being hard to reach might feel selfish. But Newport argues that it's necessary if you want to produce your best work. Think about it this way. Every time you say yes to distractions, like an impromptu meeting or a constant stream of emails, you're saying no to deep work. Successful people prioritize their time fiercely. For example, Newport himself doesn't check email until he's done with his deep work for the day. He batches shallow tasks, like emails and admin work, into set times so they don't take over his schedule. Take action? How to start practicing deep work today. Now that you know the principles, it's time to put them into practice. Start with something simple. Tomorrow, block off one 90-minute session for deep work. Choose one meaningful task, something challenging that requires focus, and dive in. Put your phone on airplane mode, close all unnecessary tabs, and let your mind settle into the work. At first, it'll feel difficult. Distractions will tempt you, and your brain will want to switch tasks. Push through it. With practice, focusing deeply will become second nature. And when you start producing better results in less time, you'll wonder how you ever worked any other way. The big takeaway. Deep work is a superpower, and it's yours for the taking. And here's the truth. Deep work isn't just a productivity hack. It's a mindset shift. It's about prioritizing what matters, eliminating what doesn't, and creating the space to produce work that you're truly proud of. By mastering deep work, you'll accomplish more, stress less, and finally make time for the things that bring you joy. So, take the first step. Train your focus, protect your time, and embrace the deep work mindset. Because in a world full of distractions, your ability to focus is what will set you apart. Now that you've got focus locked in, it's time to level up your mindset about money. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki shares the financial lessons that schools never taught us, like how to escape the rat race, build passive income, and make your money work for you. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Stay tuned.